Greetings, Chris Fiola here with part 2 of building an AI-powered virtual newsroom. In part 1, we looked at sort of the idea and the concepts behind an AI-powered virtual newsroom. And today we're going to do a deep dive into the conclusion that we reached, which is that the key to this is going to be prompt engineering. So we're going to take some of the prompts that we showed in part 1, and we're going to actually try them out on an AI today and check out the results. So what we decided to do, if you recall, and I'll put a link in below to part 1, is we're going to ask an AI to write a 3-paragraph summary of a new budget. And because of the way the timing is broken out, we can do some actual journalism here and look at the Texas state budget. Texas has a legislature that meets every other year and passes a 2-year budget. And they're in the process of passing the budget for 2026 and 2027 right now. And so we're going to ask Grok, which has lately been my large language model. I dislike calling these things AIs because they are not really artificial, and they're just code, and they definitely have no intelligence. So that's just a misnomer from every point of view. But let's ask Grok to take a look at the current budget and compare it to the new proposed budget. So let's start simple and with a very basic prompt here, and then see as we make more and more specific and formatted prompts how that helps. Let's say write a 3-paragraph summary of the new Texas state budget proposal, currently under review in the legislature. And let's see how Grok does with that. Oh, biennium. Good word, huh? And Grok does a good job here of telling exactly where we are in the process. The House has approved one budget, the Senate has approved another, and they are then going to have to hash out the differences in committee. Moving to a conference committee. Yes, there we go. So this is actually not bad. It focuses on the difference, though, if you notice here. It focuses on the difference between the House and Senate versions. It doesn't really ask what we wanted to ask, which is, how does it compare to the existing budget? Yes, there's a difference in the House and the Senate versions, but is it bigger? Yeah, it's a government budget. It's always bigger. So let's write a more structured prompt. Oh, let's scroll back up and see exactly what we wrote the last time. Okay, so we didn't mention that. And, I was as vague as possible with this first prompt because we want to see how structuring and adding detail to the prompt engineering here, compared to the current state, the current Texas, let's be specific here, Texas budget passed in 2023. Let's see how that does. Ah, here we go. Very nice. And here we do get better comparisons. Notice that it's walking some points through now. The new proposal allocates 134 billion for education, up from 128 billion in 2023. 16 billion boost for public schools, 51 billion in property tax relief. Key differences emerge in specific priorities and funding mechanisms. This is not bad, but you can see already that this is better than the original prompt. We get better results here. Now let's go for a kind of a full bore here. Now I'm going to cut and paste in what we had in the article. And I'm going to put in the actual URLs. I use just sort of generic URLs. And I'm going to tighten it up to show that we're still talking Texas here. And add a little detail here. Okay, and down the bottom here we have some very detailed structure. Provide 3 bullet points with the largest changes in dollars from 2024 to 2025, and 3 bullet points with the largest percentage changes from 2024. Well, it should actually be 2023 is when the first budget was passed. Sorry about that. I forgot that I was using the generic in the part 1 article there, and not many states have the 2-year budget cycle that Texas does. So we're asking for a lot more specificity here. And notice one of the things that we're doing here in terms of, I'm not crazy about the term prompt engineering. It's not like we're taking a hammer and some rivets to this thing or anything. We're just, putting structure into it. But in the last 2, we kind of let Grok tell us what it thought was important and which changes caught its large language model eye, as it were. Here we're giving it specific constraints. What are the 3 largest changes in dollars? And what are the 3 largest percentage changes? So let us send that to Grok and see what it does with that. Very nice. And it even echoes back to me the sources that we used here. I think that's the key though, that you could see here, and we could do this on and on ad nauseum, but you can see here that we went in and we specifically said, what are the 3 largest changes in dollars? And you get that. And what are the largest percentage changes? 183.3%. That seems quite a bit. So the point isn't whether or not this is a great analysis of the Texas budget. I'm not covering it enough to really know, but it's a good solid set of background based on the criteria that we gave it. Now, the point being here is that in virtual newsroom, what you want to have, and which I believe you can have, is a situation where a knowledgeable reporter who's covering the budget month after month, these meetings drag on. This proposal originally dates back. I want to say the governor's budget came out in January, so we're 4 months into this now, and that's on top of the fact that that's based on a budget that was passed 2 years ago. So there's quite a bit of background here, and you can see how a reporter who's been paying attention can point and say specifically, tell me about the education budget, or tell me about healthcare, or tell me about the largest changes, or tell me about the largest percentage changes, or the largest changes in total dollars. You can direct it, and you can get the kind of background out of here in seconds that even the fact that I have both of these bills up here would have taken me hours and hours to drag through at best. Just building a spreadsheet with all of these things. Although, once you've built it the first time, you can the line items tend to stay the same, and so you could just add new years and new columns that way to the existing rows with the labels for what education, property tax relief, what the actual funds are going to. But that's the point. The point is that without having all that knowledge and that background and that kind of time, this frees up a good reporter to do the reporting piece of it rather than just the administrative part, almost, of simply comparing two very large documents against each other. The Senate Bill 1, as passed, and the second house here, which is the current proposal, is, I'm not making this up, 1,023 pages. Just reading that is hours. Just going through that is hours. So the ability to allow reporters to focus on interviewing and getting the news and asking the hard questions rather than just the mechanical part of reading, comparing two 1,000+ page budgets to each other. I think that's the strength of a thing like Virtual Newsroom. I think that is what we're building toward here, and will give the ability of small one and a couple of people, a couple of journalist newsrooms to do mighty work. So let me know your thoughts. I'm going to do a written version of this also, and I'm going to cross-reference the written and the video versions here so you can see both. And let us know your thoughts. I'm really interested to see. I think in the end, what we're going to have here with Virtual Newsroom is going to end up being a toolbox, much the same way as computer-assisted reporting and research was a toolbox, where you have some basic software, but most of it is templates and training and templated prompts like this that you can use. It may not be obvious to someone who doesn't understand or hasn't spent a lot of time engineering prompts what to do here, but you could take the prompts that I've just used and do a number of things with them. And I think if we can build up a good library of prompt templates, I think that would go a long way to being something like Virtual Newsroom. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I hope you're having a great week. Fuel out.